at the Houston show with Wanderley, who organized the Brazilian quilt exhibit, and I'm so excited to get to talk to you. I feel very fortunate that we were able to meet up here. Could you tell us about this exhibit and about some of the artists, please?
The purpose of this exhibit is to promote the Brazilian artists and give them a chance to come to the Houston show, which is a big international show, and give value to their work. So they can be recognized not only in Brazil, but since the beginning, 20 years ago, when we started the movement for quilting in Brazil, Kiki Kids now is bringing these artists to promote their goal, their work.
Yes. And when did that movement start in Brazil?
1990. We start very small. At that time we started with the cross stitch, and 2 years later we noticed that there's a good demand and people are looking for patchwork. And we started in a very traditional way, all the geometrics, log cabins and so on. But there was a point that the Brazilian artists, they detach it from the traditional and they start creating their own motifs, their own designs, and that's where they are right now.
So Brazil is really known for its vibrant color and incredible creativity. I'm thinking of like the costumes for Mardi Gras, or for Carnival actually. And
yes.
Some of the artwork and the jewels and all of that. So I'm very excited to take a look. And can we go and look at one of the artists' work and we can talk about that?
Yes, please. You're welcome.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay. This work here was made by Doris Teixeira. She is a very creative. All her works, she already won contests here in Houston, but this is one of her pieces she brought out this year for us. And it was inspired from the Indians' embellishment made on feather on their hats. So you see, if you come closer and you look close up on the work, you'll be able to see the feathers there.
Yes, and this is the piece that you see when you first come into the exhibit, and it's really eye-catching. I mean, it really pulls you into the exhibit. So, were you the curator also? Did you decide where to hang all the pieces?
No, the decisions on we made the selection 150 design works that we have agreed with Quilt Inc. to make this previous selection. From this previous selection, 150 works, we gave them, and they decided which one to separate for the show.
Great.
Because this was the first time they didn't know what kind of work they were going to submit for them. So they have to get the approval from them.
Well, they have a lot of experience of
Yes,
curating
indeed.
and hanging quilts. They did a fabulous job with this.
Yes, indeed.
So this piece is inspired by the Austrian artist Gustav Klimt, who's one of my favorite artists, and I know that this piece has also attracted a lot of attention. Can you tell me about the artist, please?
The artist is one very creative artist from South Brazil, Jane Leonetti, and besides this one, she have other works similar from the same artist, and other works that she have created her own design. She have started from scratch, and you can see not only from this work the quality of her work, but also from the others.
Great. So this piece is one of my favorite motifs. It's dolls holding hands, and I also noticed that it is made from mostly solid fabrics, which is a trend here at the show.
Yes, this was a challenge for the artist. She wanted to create a work only with solids and inspired on the Brazilian typical doll, which is, we call it baianas. It's a typical doll from central Brazil, where the first country was colonized. And she was able to give this appearance on the work, and it was very nice. The name of the artist is Barbara Schaeffter. She's from São Paulo, Brazil, and she also have very interesting works with the Brazilian, very typical Brazilian team.
You know what I love about this is when I see international quilts, I love when they express their home culture as opposed to trying to copy what they're seeing here at the American shows, because I think when it shows their own culture, it really stands out at this show. So that's what makes this one very special to me.
Yes.
I also noticed this piece because I really love Brazilian music, particularly Brazilian jazz, and this is a bossa nova inspired piece.
Yes, made by Sabrina Moeller da Rosa, I'm sorry, and it gives a quick look on the Brazilian details for the Copacabana beach and the Corcovado, and some details about Rio de Janeiro.
Wonderful. So this piece has a traditional theme, and I wonder if you could explain that to us.
Yes, as the Texas for South United States, Gaúchos are the one that the typical figure for South Brazil.
And we call them gauchos.
Gauchos, yes. They live in the border between Brazil and Argentina, and they take care of the farms, and this was inspired on this typical Brazilian, made by Rute Sato.
Well, thank you. It's really interesting to see the comparison between the gauchos and the Texas Cowboys since we're here in Houston. So this is an amazing piece about the history of Brazil, and it really reminds me of Picasso's work too. We're not sure if that's what the artist intended, but I'm guessing that's the case. And tell us about the history of Brazil through this piece.
Yes, you can see some steps on the Brazilian colonization from the time of the boats arriving, the caravels, the Indians, the first men going to the country, making slaves the Indians, bringing the slaves from Africa, the independence, a little bit later when they freed them of the slaves, a little bit further when the people start getting educated, literature, music, and then at the end, because we are very well known in Brazil for soccer, a special corner for the soccer in Brazil.
Yes, of course, we have to have soccer. Well, thank you so much, Wanderley. I really appreciate you coming to speak with us, and we look forward to seeing Brazilian artists work again here in Houston.
We'll try to do our best.
Thank you.